if they were smart, they would have immediately pulled it from Netflix, and then they would have announced a theater date worldwide with new music. If they had released it in theaters to start, it would have crushed. And they just, whoopsies. It has the kind of marketing capacity that some first adopter idiot took the bullet for everybody else, probably shouldn't have watched it, but did. They watched it and they were like, actually, like this was, and they told all their friends, ignore the title. You need to watch this.
Met a ghost of a king on the road when I first fell. Fire burning to my knees I fell. Met a ghost of a king on the road.
What I found interesting is that a major studio released their next plan, yet another movie that they're going to release. I'm not going to make you watch the trailer of it. I just want to kind of pitch it to you and
Okay, pitch me.
have you ask some questions on it.
We should take pitches, by the way. So,
Well, that's a good idea.
I mean, we should do an episode where we just,
Work through pitches again.
yeah, we should do another pitch episode.
Yeah, if you want a free
Pitch a movie, pitch a book.
if you want Nate's a guided MFA
If you want
experience,
something unvarnished, just an unvarnished opinion,
send your story
send it
ideas
to
in.
SASP. Pitch us,
Yeah, anywhere. Facebook,
and
email,
you will see an honest response.
YouTube. And don't make it too long. Please don't make your pitch too long.
Well, we can tell you what our response will be if it's too long, which is we didn't read that.
Yeah. Who's got time?
That's too long. There's
For
your
all
your
that.
feedback in advance. This is
Yeah.
too long.
No, a friend asked me, how do you usually read half or 3/4 of a manuscript before you know if a pitch will work or not? And I thought, well, I read like a page or two because the pitch.
If you have your pitch read to the third page, you're lucky.
Yeah.
That means it's going well.
Right. Yeah, because you can get the angle from the pitch letter, and then you can tell if they're right from the first page or two.
Yep.
Those are the two things you need. Unfortunately, you can have your whole manuscript read and still not succeed.
And you can have a great pitch, and the manuscript does not hold up. It does not deliver on what we call the promise of the premise. So
pretty rare though to have a really bad pitch. Well, maybe I don't know, and a good manuscript that someone actually reads. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yep.
The hook is not baited.
Yep. Don't usually catch fish with a naked hook.
Right. It reminds me of a Confederacy of Dunces. It was his mom going and harassing a famous author to get it published after he died. So he died, or John Henry, or what's his name? Can't remember. Toole had died, I think perhaps by suicide. And then his mom used that guilt to get his book published afterwards. And that's one of the few examples I've seen of a manuscript getting picked just for the manuscript.
There we go.
Anyways, okay, here we go.
The pitch was suicide, though.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is a nice short pitch. All right. Okay, in a not too distant future, humans have figured out a way to hop consciousness of a human into lifelike robotic animals so that you can go communicate with animals as animals. So this girl sneaks into a lab and transmutes herself into a beaver, and a robotic beaver, I should say. And the robotic beaver goes and helps the animals in the forest. There's the pitch. It's the trailer for Pixar's new film, Hoppers, coming out in March 2026.
This just makes me sad.
What? I love making Nate sad at the start of a podcast. Just killing. He's like, I have ideas. I have so many better ideas than that.
It's sad. That's sad.
But does it help if you know that the beaver, she helps the forest animals stop a construction company from destroying their forest?
I mean, she definitely wasn't going to help them stop overgrowth.
Or forest fire.
Yeah,
By
exactly.
helping
Like,
the loggers.
we've got to clear out this brush or we're all going to die of fire.
The humans need lumber.
We need straight 2x4s without knots and warping. Come on.
Yeah, it's hard to get lumber in Idaho.
Let's go fur and larch. Let's
Yeah.
get nice and straight.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. So that's the pitch. And what I found was even funny is the insecurity of the people came out in animated into the trailer, because they say, "Isn't this just Avatar with beavers?" And
No.
and then one of them says, "It's not Avatar." So they're trying to. It's obviously Avatar, but you almost see the pitch meeting, and if you're like, "What if we took the premise of Avatar, human minds?"
We have an idea. Run with us here. We're calling it Avatarded, but it's not. But it's not based on Avatar at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just is a bummer.
But I do think there's an element. You always talk about wish fulfillment. There's an element of wish fulfillment being transmuted in talking to animals. Getting to talk to animals.
Being a robot beaver, no.
I did think beaver was a pretty lame choice.
It's a bad one.
Yeah.
It's a bad one. Her teeth won't stop growing. She'll have this. Well, I guess she's a robot, so she's not real.
Coolest thing she
The
can
other
do is
beavers
slap the water with her tail.
The other beavers, she won't feel it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just dumb.
There's not enough there.
There's more than enough there. There's more than enough there to say this is an incorrect decision. This was not good. Don't do it. Now, the thing that's funny though is that if you put suddenly the really smart people in the room and you're like, hey, let's get John Lasseter back in here. Let's get these other people back in here and let's really grind on the story and the character and the humor and everything else. You can take something that's really like not good.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it good.
Yeah.
And so it can come out and you can be like, wow, this was the worst idea anybody had ever had. And yet
we made it good.
Well done. It's kind of like let's talk about K-pop demon hunters.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what? Like what a terrible idea. What a horrible pitch. What a awful title.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a K-pop band. There's always been these singers that are protecting the world from demons. And there's a K-pop band that is protecting the world from the devil and all his demons. Like, how stupid is that?
Yeah.
But they executed it really, really well.
Well, that's what I've heard. Is that true?
Yeah. No, it's in fact true. And it blew up. Like it blew.
I've seen how big it is. I've also heard the villains are awesome.
Oh, villains are fantastic.
That was Forrest was like
the people who are in the room. The people who are in the room who came in and infused a bad idea with a lot of really good things. It's kind of like that novel where somebody gives you the terrible pitch and the manuscript's actually good. It's that kind of thing. The pitch is terrible on this thing. The pitch is awful, and yet the final the heart, the payoff, the engine, the architecture is all fantastic.
Do you think there's a promise in the title like K-pop Demon Hunters that promises so little you're willing to try it?
No, I wasn't willing to try it.
Okay.
I mean, opposite. I know a ton of people who are not willing to try it. I texted multiple industry people and said, hey, by the way, don't be fooled. You should check it out. Like, check out what happened. It'll make sense to you. This is not a situation where the
K-pop
global
fans came in.
The global population.
Yeah. Right.
I tried to talk to people about it who are connected to the music industry, and they're like, oh, whatever. And I was like, no, really, actually, you should pay attention. This was Republic Records. This isn't traditional K-pop. This isn't like it's like such a pandering, disrespectful, we don't take our jobs seriously title.
Right.
Like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
It's like that level of like K-pop demon hunters.
Yeah.
That goes right next to Hot Tub Time Machine in my book. But then in this case, you have this really awful package and then you have truth inside it, which is like, oh, that was unexpected. I was expecting some really old borderline green baloney.
Yeah.
And it said there was some truth in here. And truth about shame and guilt and condemnation and the devil as an accuser and the need for honesty. And no, you're not beautiful the way you are, actually. You need to be honest about your flaws and humility, not pride. I mean, there's so many things where it's just like, whoa, okay. And it even heavily trolls the K-pop world. Like it really heavily
makes fun of the Stan sort of approach to
Yeah.
life. And
so they have the idol competition. And the bands are coming in and the villains sing like whatever, I'm your idol, get on your knees. And they and then they actually manifest, they drop their facades and manifest as demons, as evil, and the people are still falling on their knees and following them.
Yikes, that's a little too real.
Yeah, it's like we're like, what are they doing? What's going on? And it's like, oh, the villains aren't just misunderstood. They all need to be destroyed.
Okay. So that's a truth we've highlighted a lot this podcast.
Yeah.
A real, actually bad villain.
A really bad villain. It's the devil. And the devil is an accuser and uses your shame and guilt to control you.
Wow.
And it's like, what? and then our lead is part demon. Our lead has this darkness, has this demonic side. She's not pure good. She's fallen. She's cursed. And she doesn't just get to be beautiful the way she is. She actually has to, basically it has to be burned out. It's got to be, she has to be redeemed and resurrected. It's like, what is going on? Like, what am I watching? I've been meaning to sit down and watch it through and on a bigger screen because I chipped away in travel and things I watched in like 10-minute increments. But it's a perfect example of something that's just horrific. So maybe this Beaver movie, if you go hire the K-pop Demon Hunters team, whoever was responsible for that, whoever put the engine in that engine room, whoever put all the fuel in there and the catharsis and understood, whoever it was, director, producer, one of the writers on the team, somewhere in there, somebody swapped in a bunch of good stuff. And so,
Could it start with villain instead of a nice construction company? If we improve the Beaver villains.
Well, for example, what's the construction company building?
Yeah.
What are they building to?
I actually don't even know.
To what?
I can tell they're trying.
Low income housing.
They're trying to avoid the environmentalism aspect as being.
No, they already walked into it.
So they're not putting in the trailer.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny. In the trailer, it's like a bear almost eats another beaver, and she saves the other beaver, and that's supposed to be our save the cat.
So could you easily talk about the weird corruption of green homes? Are these a bunch of green homes? You don't know like
right.
What. So as bad as that is, if you went and got the smart people and you brought them over and you gave them this horrible package, they could still fill it with something great. And it'd be hard in this situation because they're already advertising it, and it's, it'd be very difficult. Right. But it is doable. It is actually doable to swap in some truth into the wrong package. So you can have, imagine some horrible bottle that's like some kind of Mountain Dew flavor, with a bad logo, and it's
Baja Blast,
Mountain Berry Crush Raw, on there with some terrible commercial. And then you open that bottle and there's actually something really good inside. It's like all the bad marketing, the bad naming, the bad packaging can actually be false. It's just is very rarely the case, other than the fact that I just saw it happen with K-pop Demon Hunters, which is amazing. Now, I'll say this. If they were smart, if they was half smart.
Hopper's team?
No.
Anyway.
Sony Netflix on K-pop, because Sony did K-pop Demon Hunters. Netflix bought it, and they're the distributor for it. They missed out on $1 billion franchise. $1 billion franchise if they'd released this in theaters. And they went straight to streaming. As soon as they realized how viral it was, and it's not viral like some super cheap, funny video of somebody
that goes away in a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has the kind of marketing capacity that some first adopter idiots sat there and took the bullet for everybody else. Probably shouldn't have watched it, but did. They watched it and they were like, actually, this was, and they told all their friends, don't ignore the title. You need to watch this, and ignore the K-pop accoutrement, and take a look at what they're doing. What they're doing here is really interesting, really weird, and unexpected in this context. And that word of mouth took over. and it went enormous. It was so big. And it went enormous right after Elio bombed in the box office, and they blamed the audience. And they were like, well, you know, viewers, and they didn't want to take responsibility for it. And then here's something under a horrible title, dropping straight to streaming, and just went, whoom, like just took off. And after it crushed all of Netflix's metrics, globally speaking, when you're dealing with, you know, 200 million views of this thing, you know, goes nuts. When the original score, like these are not theme songs, the original score was so well executed by Republic Records that these songs are charting on Billboard, not in K-pop. They're charting over everything. And so, no, these aren't covers like from Sing. These are originals. Wow. And the guys who did the music had a lot of fun, really sticky, were on the nose with the themes. Okay. And so the big there's
almost
this there's
Let It
this
Go
big
energy.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. It crushed Let It Go's numbers for what it was able to do.
Wow.
So you're talking about a lot of different songs.
Yeah,
You're talking about the villain songs, multiple of the villain songs.
Yeah.
It starts with Be My Soda Pop as like the villain's first one. And then I'm Your Eye. It gets all the way to I
think part of this is just the pitch is kind of fun because everything I hear about this, I'm just like, what? Like, why would I watch that? Everyone's like, I know.
Now you need to. And here's the other thing. You should watch it with your boys and have a conversation. I'm dead serious. Like, it's actually like, you've got this little pack of like the most resistant viewers to something like this ever. And yet it's hyper violent.
Oh, wow.
They kill all of the bad guys like they're Amalekites. I mean, it's like they're all going to die. And there's that one good demon who's super dreamy and she kind of loves him and he's going to die too. and it's kind of like there's all these moments where I was like, oh, they're doing that thing. Yeah. Oh, he's misunderstood.
Just like Elio, they're going to have the bad guy be kind of misunderstood and come around.
Just like Lego, all of it. All of it. And then they don't. They don't do it. It's like they just all need to die.
Even the nice Amalekites gotta go.
They gotta die. And we are going to like kill them by hand. Well, I mean, it's
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, and we're gonna do it while singing K-pop. So it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. It's this Big Mac wrapper, and you open it up, and it's fantastic, like grass-fed Snake River Farms patty. And you're like, what's going on? Somebody lied to me.
Yeah, did it just sneak under the radar?
I don't even know, but obviously, since it was going straight to streaming,
yeah.
If they'd been half smart, this is what I was going to say. If they'd been half smart, they would have immediately pulled it from Netflix or announced only on Netflix for 5 more days or something like that. And then they would have announced a theater date worldwide with, you'd recut it a little bit, slightly add a scene with like new music. So if they like picked like 2 to 3 months out and were like a new track, we're going to do this re-release, it goes insane. If they had released it in theaters to start, it would have crushed.
Wow.
And they just, whoopsies.
Yeah.
So now they have this incredibly valuable franchise.
Yeah.
They had to figure out what to do with it and how to not screw it up. And will they? Probably. Unless whoever it was total accident, unless whoever it was that was in the room that gave it the bones of truth, goodness, and beauty, like gave it the architecture and the bones of gospel catharsis. It does is there for the second one. It's going to be.
It does seem like a lot of the content. Well, we talked about this with the China movie, but they're happy to have a really bad villain.
Yeah.
And that seems to solve a lot of problems.
It helps.
When I'm just going to make sure our antagonist is actually bad.
Yep.
It almost causes the hero to have to be better and a bunch of things like that. Yep. I mean, it's part of the reason why, I can tell that this, Avatar for kids, Avatar for beavers,
just call it Avatarded. It's fun.
Yeah, sure. Avatarded. And that one there.
The new Pixar film, Avatarded.
Right. They're doing another Avatar too.
Of course they are.
I mean, it's just kind of, this one has.
This time they've decided to do live action. They're redoing all the animated movies. It's live action, so Avatar has to be
There has to be a
redone.
lot of blue makeup.
And Avatar is just the movie Pocahontas.
Right.
So, like literally, it's just the movie Pocahontas.
So that's
the
such a-
script is Pocahontas.
See, that one feels like, I think there's a couple things going on, but being the first $2 billion movie, you know, I don't know what James Cameron just has hit 2 huge ones with Titanic and
I don't
Avatar.
know.
It's like, how did he do
I can't
it?
explain it. I can't. Like, there's. I don't know.
I mean, it came
I
out, I
don't
hit the
get it.
3D glasses. I remember sitting in a theater like an idiot with the glasses on my face.
I did not. I've never finished it. So I'm kind of like, it's like I've been unvaccinated by Avatar.
Mm.
The rest of y'all took the jab.
I can't undo it. I've seen both of them. And
You have the
unfortunately, there's a third one.
mRNA Avatar. Yeah.
There's definite brain clots.
For sure, there's some cardiovascular issues.
It's just a lot of damage inside.
There's a lot of damage. You're no longer a pure blood.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. So all this to say, I'm in the long-winded way around to say maybe somebody at Pixar will do something good with this horrible package,
Yeah. Okay.
but probably not.
Yeah. Probably not.
Most likely not. Just like K-pop Demon Hunters was probably not going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing about that would be okay. And there's plenty of things to criticize about it. There's plenty of,
I mean, I guess Demon Hunters are cool. If they just called it Demon Hunters, they would have got a lot of clicks.
I don't understand. I don't understand what happened. The songs are catchy, etc. It's also funny. I took my wife to, we were on a trip where I was announcing the release of Ashdown, except for I didn't. But,
No, Nate.
Yeah.
No.
But I took my wife and I took her out to F1 because the rest of the family had seen it and it was still in a theater nearby. So we went and saw it in this empty theater with a giant screen. Have you seen it?
No, but I've heard it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another fun movie.
Yeah. It seems like
And
Brad
yeah.
Pitt doesn't deserve to be. He just seems to succeed in a lot of those kind of weird movies. That he
Normally not though.
does. But Bullet Train. I mean, he gets put in these weird movies that work for Brad Pitt,
Does Bullet Train work?
doesn't it? I thought it was fun.
Oh man.
You forget that I took the mRNA. So
Oh wow. I mean, Brad Pitt's funny. He's interesting, and the movie has a lot of layers in F1. There's a lot to it, and yet I would just say a couple things. One is Apple spent so much money on this thing. I don't even know. I've not looked up the budgets, and I don't know what the real budgets were, and I don't know what the gross budgets were. But you see the tax incentives roll by at the end, and you're like, it's like the entire UN chipped in on this film.
well,
Other than the credits were more, I was trying to think like I need to go search and see what was the largest credits ever. Like what's the most populated credits of all time?
because this was it.
This was competing. It's at least in the top 5, I'm guessing. Unless I'm completely off base, which I could be, but I was sitting there watching all of them, just being like, "Oh my gracious, it's insane."
I'm trying to find what the budget was.
Well, you won't be able to find the real one.
You won't say it.
Not the actual one. You can find
Reportedly 300 million. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's probably pretty close, actually.
200 and 300 according to.
Yeah, it was
Google.
wild, but it was executed at a high level in every way, including like we were paying Hans Zimmer to do the score, and
I
we're
assumed
doing-
Apple would only do that if they had streaming rights for F1, and I didn't think they did. You know, like trying to pair this,
yeah,
trying to blow the sport up, because I know a number of people who are watching F1 these days,
and yet Netflix actually was the one that they thought controlled the outcome. And was it last season? They thought Netflix actually put their thumb on the scale
yeah,
for their
okay.
show.
Okay,
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, okay, it's such a simple story.
mm-hmm.
Everybody has very simple motivators that are easy to understand.
Yeah,
And there are themes of, vanity, self-sacrifice, and so on that all have to be learned.
mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they have to throw in the obligatory 1980s hookup.
right.
It's like they have the scene that's kind of like,
Yeah,
skip, filter would be nice.
Mhm.
It's not like it's a bunch of skin. It's just like, oh, the characters, unfortunately, hook up.
right.
But yet the engine of the film and the whole structure of the film is very straightforward,
Mhm.
easy to comprehend, and introduces characters you can root for.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
like, it's just like, oh, we're gonna make a layup, and we're gonna spend a lot of money making this layup, because it turns out when you do it really, really simply and well,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of money.
Did I say it was over? Did you say it was 450 million so far or something?
I don't know what the total net is right now, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It did well, and it will continue to do well, and it's birthed a franchise. And anytime something original happens, and it's like, oh, an original idea worked. It's great, as opposed to more animation to live action, more
Well,
Marvel.
I thought this was just them copying Ford versus Ferrari.
No,
Or
it's
is
way
it-
more than that.
Okay.
I mean, they knew Ford versus Ferrari established that it, a
Car movies are back in, yeah.
movie can work.
Yeah.
It's definitely trying to do something more than that. It's
And
not.
you think it comes
competing
down to
with
kind of just motivation, and same thing that we did with
Yeah.
Tom Cruise and
Yep,
Mission
Maverick.
Maverick. Yeah,
Yeah.
just we're gonna
Same director, I think.
okay. So we're gonna do a main character, you kind of
The
abrasive.
undercover theme, Gen X rocks.
Yeah. Yep.
And so your little Gen Z guy gets to like learn some lessons, and Gen X rocks while being real about themselves, about how stupid he's been.
Okay.
There's a great press conference scene where one journalist is coming after Brad's character and is like, "So, you became a professional gambler?" And he was like, "Yep." "And you filed bankruptcy?" And he's like, "Yep." "And you had a marriage annulled and another 2 divorces?" And he's like, "Yep." And the guy's like, "Anything you wish you'd done differently?" And he goes, "Yep."
That's funny.
But like, really? Yeah, of course. It's it's not like, oh, he's this flawless character. He's been an idiot. He's been a moron. He's done all these dumb things. It's functionally a Western. The guy blows in from out of town. He kind of rides in and solves the thing and rides out.
Right.
And it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Gotcha.
even in his flaws and his quirks, he's likable and easy to root for.
Yeah. So if you're pitching that one, I think the temptation for most people would be to start with the problem. Be like, there's this Formula One team in crisis, and they need
Yeah.
someone to save them.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that-
that is where you start with the pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and then roll in our main character.
Yeah, so the
troubled past.
pitch-
He's older than he should be.
The pitch is desperate. There's this guy who's going to lose his F1 team if he doesn't get at least one win this season. And so he reaches out to this old race car driver in his 50s, who left the sport 30 years ago.
Which is obvious because you don't last that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, just sort of like, oh, who's being pulled off of this really weird, odd, circuit that he's on to show up and try to achieve and be the best driver in the world at least once. So, it's like, okay. So they have different motivators, but they're simple. And
Yeah, and I'm assuming the sets are pretty fun too. If you're jumping around Europe at F1 courses,
the production is impressive. The score is fantastic.
The Arabs as well.
The theme
Yeah.
is just real simple. Like, it's not about the money. And then the question being like, well, what is it about? And that just gets asked over and over and over. And
Yeah.
and what's the answer?
Yeah.
Drive fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Anyway, it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable experience. And for families, it's watchable with some minimal filtering.
Yeah. Slight bit of language. Yeah.
Yep.
In the scene.
Yep. A skippable scene. But anyway, so it's funny to see like, oh, here's another, somebody served a steak.
And people liked eating it.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, hey, and it makes money. You don't have to do all the gay stuff. Because that's the other thing that's noticeably absent.
Okay.
Representation.
Right. Right.
It's like, okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just
Yeah.
kinda
No,
like-
yeah. They're very much leaning into something else, the fast cars crowd. And the fact that it's Formula One is a NASCAR also gets you some cool European points as well. 'Cause the NASCAR movie doesn't quite play as well for Apple.
No, it does not.
Ricky
They-
Bobby has a different vibe than Brad Pitt.
they open up with 24 hours of Daytona.
Okay.
And but like from the jump, this guy, you get to know him quickly, and the different characters are well crafted.
How do you what is it about establishes likability for Brad Pitt in this opening one?
Diet, socks, Just
Okay. Yeah. It's
just
funny. Funny. Okay.
real simple. He's in a van. He's like sleeping in his van with mismatched socks and a stack of PB&Js next to him, and he's asleep during the 24 hours of Daytona before his shift in the car, and gets the knock and gets up and quickly snorts a PB&J and like is getting ready to walk out there, and it's like this huge deal, but he's like out here in Corkyville,
Yeah.
and then walks out into the lights for this crazy race.
Mm.
Sort of it's real quick. He's the odd man out. He doesn't quite fit. Does this amazing job. The guy tries to pay him to stay, and he's just like, no.
Mm.
And they try to give him a trophy, and he's like, it's bad luck. I'm not touching it. Do you want to watch? He's like, here's like the Rolex prize. And he's like, I gotta watch, as he's leaving. It's like, it's
okay.
It's just kind of like, it's really clearly not about the money and not about the glory for him. So
Nice.
anyway, they set it up fast.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That's
it's a long
effortless.
movie, but it doesn't bore you.
Yeah.
First race, my wife was like stressing out. She's like, is it going to be like this the whole time? I was like, yeah. yes, it will. Yeah, it is. It's going to be like this the whole time. Then I've hit my F1, like more serious F1 fan friends,
Yeah.
like travel to the races level friends.
All my relatives are F1. They haven't been to the races yet, but they would be.
Yeah.
They're naming their lizards after Max Verstappen. So
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, it's and they're like, yeah, I know there's things about it that are like, yeah, not realistic, but that's always the case in sports movies.
Yeah.
But super fun,
Mm.
I was just curious because not following it at all, just cold coming into this without following Formula One even a little bit.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. So there's K-pop Demon Hunters. There's these proofs out there that you can just make a fun movie
Yeah.
and even advertise it badly and name it badly. And if
Still succeeds.
people like what it tastes like, they
Mhm.
like how it pays off, they will spread the word for you. It will become a thing. And
There
if
we
you
go.
have sticky songs, the Republic Records people did their job
Yeah.
really well for K-pop. So
Yeah. That follow up feels huge. Something that you return to after you've already watched it, if you're not going to watch it again.
yeah.
I think we've talked about doing that sometimes with books.
Yep.
If there's a follow up book to
I'm
a
reading
franchise.
I'm whipping through the Narnia Chronicles right now. I actually don't think I was trying to remember if I've ever just read them in publication order like back to back to back to back, like straight through, which I don't know. I've never done that. So I'm doing that right now. It is actually funny, like the kind of things that jump out and seeing it from the author's perspective and how this would have been shaped and why he's writing some things in Caspian that he does, having just done The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You can kind of see him exploring and, kind of unfolding his ideas
Yeah.
as he goes.
Is that the stuff like the history of what the world would be like and why people are there and or what
Okay,
kind of
so
things are popping
think
out?
about this. You write The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
There's talking animals. There's a cursed kingdom and a white witch. It's a really big deal that there's people.
Mm-hmm.
Like humans arrive, and it's the arrival of sons of Adam, daughters of Eve, and they become the high kings, and they need to be the high kings and high queens. And here we go. Done. Boom. We're back. It was amazing. They lived this whole life to adulthood, and then they are children again in England. Then and Edmund goes through his redemption arc and everything else. Lucy, it turns out, makes one mistake. I've slandered her as like making zero mistakes. She makes one mistake in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and it's barely a mistake.
Like not wanting to go give anyone else the medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says just a minute as she's trying to heal Edmund. and
Right.
then Aslan says this intensely passive aggressive thing to her. How many more people must die for Edmund?
Yeah.
Like,
And to her credit, though, Lucy right away is like,
yeah, she's
you know
like,
what?
but her one and only mistake comes at the end of the book. It's like the reverse character journey. She finally makes a mistake, and it's at the very end, and shows a little humanity. But then you go to the second book, and he jumps to, wait, it's all in ruins, and there's other people here, and they've like silenced the woods, and they've you know bridged the rivers, and Cair Paravel's fallen over, like literally. Like, who ruled after them? Did anything go well after they left? No, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the golden age while their rule. Then it just fell into, total disrepair. The Normans came, conquered everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very much Britain and the Normans. And it's very, or I guess the Saxons. Like, the Saxons came first.
Getting destroyed.
But it depends on whether the Telmarines, where they fit. But conquest has happened. Old Britain is dead. It's like and the kids come back and they're the same age. And it's like, what? Like, okay, why does he jump to Narnia in ruins? Like, it literally just got born and it's all fallen down and disrepair and decay. It's like, well, if you think about the little kids and the imaginations he's writing to in England specifically, who are surrounded by these ruins of this greatness, you can get it. You can understand it. Like, why is he trying to reach them?
He doesn't want to just hang out when King Alfred was king the entire time. He wants them to be looking around at. He
wants it to impact them in their imaginations, in their own stories.
Post World War II.
So why are we jumping to this 1950s England of Narnia? In terms of the little kids can see the ruined castles and they can look around and and process. And there's a lot of that over there. It makes sense that he would jump, but back to backing through his publication order and being like, he wrote this and then he wrote this immediately afterwards, and then kind of marching through. It does reveal some other things, and you kind of realize finally, oh wait, book 6, his last one he wrote was Magician's Nephew, and then Last Battle, where he got to the end and then he's like, oh, here's the creation story.
I probably better put the beginning and end.
Here's the creation story. Here's the apocalypse. And like, boom, boom at the end. And then it gets resorted. And then most of the world processes it, chronologically as opposed to in publication order. I think it kind of masks his intent and how much he's playing jazz along the way.
Gotcha. So his whole goal is to try to connect to people, right? He wants to reach the kids.
Yeah, and specifically Lucy Barfield at the beginning when he's, his goddaughter.
So we tend to miss the focus, I guess, if we're thinking about it as the rise and fall of Narnia.
Right.
It's the point wasn't the world building. It was much more
imagination fuel, food, a different, what flavors to hit next, like what he wanted to do, how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's,
do you think as far as Prince Caspian goes, he does that massive, up and aside of 4 chapters where Caspian basically Caspian jumps back and tells what happens. Reading through it a second time in that publication order, do you have any thoughts about why he did it that way?
I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because he can't, like, he's has no fourth wall, and he's never does, and he'll chat at the reader kind of at any point, and that's something that doesn't happen as much now because it does create a rift. But he does that so he doesn't have to write long dialogue. So when the kids are sitting there in the ruins, it's a really simple motivator. It's like they're in the ruins of Cair Paravel. They saved Trumpkin. They're sitting here, and Trumpkin's got to tell them the backstory. And then he's like, I'm not going to tell you all the questions, and interruptions, and how long this actually took. He breaks the fourth wall. I'm just going to tell you the story that they then learned. And so he then, instead of having it be all disruptive and disjointed and trying to recreate that night while Trumpkin tells them everything, which he's heard from Caspian, which we'll find out later. He then, Lewis just gives you the immediacy of Caspian's story, and then hops out and weirdly says, you may have guessed this was Trumpkin telling the story. It's like, oh, come on, editors, catch that. He said it at the beginning. He already said that.
Right.
But he pops out and is like, this was all Trumpkin. The kids all know this. Now these characters all know what you know. But you have that story in the middle that he's told that it works great. So I think he did it for impact and efficiency when it was time to tell that story. and he didn't want to do it in dialogue with Trumpkin's voice. He just wanted to do it as a narrator. So,
Okay.
I think it
Nice.
worked-
Well,
I think it works great.
we'll have to keep touching in on that as you continue your way through. Are you in Prince Caspian right now?
No,
Oh, you're on.
I finished it in Dallas last night.
Oh, nice. So let's see, publication orders. Is that Horse and His Boy next? Or Silver Chair? Horse and His Boy?
I think it's Horse and His Boy, but I'll have to double check.
Yeah.
I don't have it. It's funny how much I realized I knew the publication order and had just forgotten it. And I had to look it up and, and I was actually startled to see that Magician's Nephew had been written 6th. And just I knew that, but it just, wow, seeing them like doing that back-to-back writing that he did.
Yeah.
Of course, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, also he famously wrote, by hand and like,
Right. Oh, okay.
in like one go, basically. These are very short stories that are just kind of flying by, as he hits different things. And of course, Caspian makes a big deal about how they feared the sea and the Telmarines, and so that
He
is
sets
this.
it up.
Yeah.
Or is that one next?
That might be next.
That might be. I think that's next. Yeah.
We'll find out. I'll find out.
We'll find out.
Whatever the next one is, that's what I'm about to devour.
There we go. I was going to drag us deeper into Pocahontas, but we don't need to anymore.
Pocahontas.
Yep.
As we always
We'll do it.
called it.
Pocahontas.
There are people out there who've kind of broken down how Avatar and Pocahontas were the same story.
Right.
The movie specifically.
Right.
And they did a good job. Very convincing.
Yeah.
It's the same script. They changed the nouns.
Yeah.
And that's
It replaced whatever gold. Are they looking for gold? I'm trying to remember in the original Disney one. And to unobtainium.
Oh, I think the
If you remember
Pocahontas movie
Avatar.
is not the animated one.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's the
Oh, I haven't seen it.
whatever. Is it just called Pocahontas? It's like the Captain John Smith.
Okay. The
Pocahontas
live
thing.
action one. I didn't
I'll go double check. We can talk this. People, fans who are listening can tell us if we're wrong if they know, but we'll go do a little more research
because we want to touch.
Or we'll come back and never talk about this again.
No, I think we will because we got to hit up how John Smith interacts, and we're hitting the Ashtown Legendarium at that point as well.
Yeah, we are. We're overlapping some of the IP, some of the same historical IP.
Okay, great. There we go.
This has been Stories of Soul Food. You should watch K-pop Demon Hunters and F1
2 recommends.
with or without filters, depending on the audience.
Yeah. I'm going to try and force my boys to watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
Don't force them. Sit down and just turn it on.
It won't be hard to force them.
Lay your life down. Your heartbeats cannot be hoarded. Your reservoir of breaths is draining away. You have hands, blister them while you can. You have bones, make them strain. They can carry nothing in the grave. You have lungs, let them spill with laughter. With an average life expectancy of 78.2 years in the U.S., subtracting 8 hours a day for sleep, I have around 250,000 conscious hours remaining to me in which I could be smiling or scowling, rejoicing in my life in this race, in this story, or moaning and complaining about my troubles. I can be giving my fingers, my back, my mind, my words, my breaths to my wife and my children and my neighbors. Or I can grasp after the vapor and the vanity for myself, dragging my feet, afraid to die, and therefore afraid to live. And like Adam, I will still die in the